Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing fantastic always and having a great day. Today's Saturday, I think it's like the 19th, it's not the 18th. No, 18th was, might be the 20th. I'm not sure anymore. So what are we doing today? Today, we're installing an APR exhaust system on an S7, and I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is to install this S7 APR exhaust system. It's pretty straightforward. We gotta unbolt a hole from like here back. We got to unbolt all this. We got to take the factory VALVE-TRONIC valves off both sides, and we'll drop it all on the ground, and then we'll go back and install this beautiful box right back here. The cool part about the APR exhaust is that it does allow, you can still control the exhaust valves through the MMI system on your S7. So that's pretty freaking sweet. If you don't know what that means, basically it's the difference of the car being really quiet or kind of loud. The other super cool factor about this is that APR has designed this kit to fit right up to the factory system, and it's also designed so that if you want a little bit more tone or you want it a little bit quieter, you can swap in and out the center muffler delete. So I guess the only thing really to do here is open the box and see what we got. All right guys, so here is the APR catback exhaust system without the center muffler in it. Pretty cool for what it is. So you can order this pipe right here with or without the center muffler. The center muffler looks very similar to this one that's rolling back and forth on the ground, and it just goes right here. The center muffler is definitely gonna tone the car down a little bit more. Personally, I'm not a fan of it, and I like that more low-end grunt that you get. I mean, it's a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. Who doesn't want to hear this thing just go wah, 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 all the time? I think that's cool. Some might not like that, some might. So it's 100% up to you. This portion right here is where you're going to bolt on factory exhaust valve controller. One goes on this side and one goes over there on that side. All the hardware for this thing is all slip joints, just like the factory, so it should be fairly easy there to install. And then you get this really nice APR bracket, which comes in and goes right there and just looks freaking amazing. Once again, pretty self-explanatory. The system isn't hard, there's just a lot of little bolts and nuts that you're gonna have to remove. Let's get this stock exhaust off of here and let's get this thing installed. So the cool part about this kit, guys, is the fact that it uses factory style slip couplers, which is these guys right here and these guys right here. Now these ones you're gonna reuse, so don't ruin them, hold on to them. If you break the bolt, not the end of the world. A normal carriage bolt will just slip right in there and you can send it and it'll be fine. So the first thing you guys are gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna loosen slip joints. You don't gotta take them all the way off, just get them loose. Just to help kind of break any bond that might be in here, take a little hammer. There we go, nice and loose. So they make this super cool tool right here. This is to press out your exhaust hangers. Oh, it's really easy, extremely hard to use, super hard. Like, ugh. Yeah. So in order to get this piece off right here, you gotta pull these, there's 8 triple squares, H8s. Here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 over here, and then there's 2 more here. But in order to get to those, you gotta have to pull this little body clip off. You can use a flathead screwdriver, or you can use a body tool, like this one right here. And the clip, so the clip looks like this. You put your screwdriver in, right in there, that'll pop up. Pull that out, and then you just get your tool in behind there, and you can wedge these right out. Then you're gonna wanna take these 2 10mm plastic nuts off, and we're gonna remove them with extreme overkill. All right, so you got that panel, you got the support bar that goes across here out, you got these guys loose right here, and you should take these triple squares out right here, and then they go down and underneath that panel there. Well, I'm gonna tell you flat out, you don't need to do that. You're replacing the exhaust system anyways, and it's not the end of the world. I like to do, because it's sweet, it's simple, and go right in here, take a Sawzall, and cut this one, and then cut this one right here, and you're gonna be able to just finesse and slide this all right out on the ground. So it's a lot easier to do it that way than to try to take all this out. Plus, the new ones are just gonna slip right around that additional support because each one goes in independently. So it's not gonna be that big a deal. So I'm gonna grab a chop saw real quick. We're gonna cut this one, and then we're gonna cut this one, and we're just gonna drop all this onto the ground. Headphone users, beware. So along with this clamp over here, you're gonna have to remove the one on this side right here, and you can just use your fancy little tool again, and you can push that one right out of there. Boop. All right, well, there we go. Pretty easy. And you can see the difference already between this piece and that piece. Like, just your overall OD of the APR exhaust is significantly larger than the factory exhaust is, and it doesn't have all these dimples in it to clear support beams and things like that. Let's get back to it and see if we can get this thing finished up. All right, so to get these things out, it's gonna be a little difficult. It's right up in there. I'm just gonna want to push it in, pull the tab, and there we go. Do the same thing on this side over here. The tab that you're wanting to go for, that one right there. It's a little bitty thing. Like, I wish Volkswagen or Audi, whomever decided to design that portion of the car, they made the tab that locks it into place a little bit more noticeable. It is a very difficult spot to get your hand into. I've already disconnected this one. I got that side on the ground, and we're just gonna winsel that rubber mount out right there, and then we'll drop this piece on the ground. We'll start getting the new stuff installed. So I like to take, you know, my WD-40, any sort of lubricant, and the hanger's a little bitty blast like that. Do it again on this side. All that's gonna do is when you go to hang things back in there, it's gonna be a lot easier to slide your new parts, your new hanger brackets right here and here, and they're 10 times easier. So the factory exhaust all on the ground. What we need to do now, we need to remove these valve control modules, that one, and we need to reinstall them on this side and that side. And then we need to take these exhaust clamps right here, install them, just slip them on there. Go do that, and then we'll get that piece on the car, and we'll move on to the next part. This is gonna sound freaking rowdy. Half of me right now wants to start the car, open down pipes, and it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Screw it, let's do it. Oh, that's not nearly as loud as I was expecting. That's not nearly as loud and obnoxious as I was expecting it to be with no exhaust really on it. We got the center muffler delete installed. Now, do not tighten your clamps down yet, just so that you have plenty of play in your system. Holding it up right here with the exhaust hangers, the factory exhaust hangers, there and there. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and put the APR support plate back in the car, which is this beautiful piece right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put that piece in. Just gonna go in just like that. So let's get that piece in real fast, and then we're gonna move on to moving the exhaust valves over to the new mufflers, and then we can get these pieces installed. Now these pieces right here, you get, because I cut that up there earlier, you'll notice on these pieces right here, there is your kit will come with 2 slip joints. These 2 slip joints are for those pieces right there. And then these clamps right here are for your exhaust tips. Yeah, all you gotta do now is move these guys, that one there, install them on here. Now there is some hardware in your bag, those little things right there, and you also got new bolts and nut hardware to install them. All right guys, so I'm pretty sure these guys right here are gonna break. We're gonna find out. Might help if I get the right size. Oh, no they didn't. Hey, look at that. There we go. So inside this bag is some hardware. That right there, and exhaust clamps. And then there's 4 of these guys right here. Those are for your exhaust tip. To install your module, controller, whatever you want. The kit comes with these little adapters. You're gonna wanna, you see this notch right here? You'll notice that there's one bolt or Allen that's taller than the rest of them. That is so that it is like a stopper. You guys can see that. You see how it stops? So you wanna make sure to orient that notch to that. Just install it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. In here, should clip right down in there. And then, boom. Once again, the kit does include some new hardware, and it includes these little washers. Now don't go crazy with these because you will crack the plastic, and then you're buying probably like $140 exhaust valve module, or you're finding a way to rig it up. All right, well this side's all done, so let's repeat the process over here. All right, so to hang this stuff, guys, it's pretty simple, it's very self-explanatory. You remember how I cut it? Well, it's just reverse of that. By this point, guys, you should have at least everything setting up in the car. Now you're gonna have 2 bolts left over. These little 2 right here. What they're gonna do is they're gonna go right into this little joint here. Now that joint is gonna help keep your exhaust system square, and it's gonna actually raise it up into the car some. So can't do this one-handed, so I'm gonna have to set you guys down again and just go ahead and knock this out real fast. Battery's probably gonna die before I do it, so we'll change the battery first. Much better. Much better. I don't know if you guys can tell already, but that has corrected a lot of the angle that the exhaust was drooping down at before. So go ahead. I did lie earlier. I ended up having to take one of these supports out because that hanger right there, I couldn't get it to clear, and it was just simpler. I'm trying to hold back a burp. All right, so the only thing we got left now is just to tighten everything up. So this is the part of the install where I can't do nothing about it. Shit happens, but it happens. Somehow, some way, we only got sent 1 set of tips, which really sucks because this is not gonna complete the install one bit. The car is gonna end up looking kind of funky with 1 tip on that side and 1 tip on that side. And you're probably saying, Jack, just, you know, order another set of tips. Well, it's Saturday. It's not like I can just go and get another APR set of tips and everything matches. So we're gonna call APR Monday, figure out what happened, and get another set on their way. It's probably just a packing error, or maybe it was a purchasing error. I don't know. I will make sure when I edit this video to, at some point before the end of it, make sure to let you guys know what exactly went down. So when you order your kit, you don't have to deal with that same problem. Or a misread of the article is what I'm hoping for, and you actually need to order 2 sets. Or it was probably just a packing error, who knows? Either way, we're gonna find out what happened and we're gonna get it corrected. So we're gonna install the 2 tips that we have And something you want to take a note of when you're putting these in is make sure you orient your clamp so that A, you can get to it, and B, it doesn't rub on anything. That's pretty much how it's gonna go down. We're gonna put ours, I think, something like that for right now until we get the other ones in, and then we'll figure out if we need to adjust them. Go ahead, tighten these things up. You're done. See what it sounds like after we get these on. All right, here we go. First fire up. I'm pretty happy with that. That sounds so good. Looks awful because we're missing a tip on each side, but let's give it a little bitty rev. Little bitty rev. It's not too freaking bad. That thing sounds pretty nice, actually. Before we call this job good, we're gonna go ahead and raise the car up one more time, get underneath of it, and just make sure there's no exhaust leaks. Nothing. Wow, those boys are cold. Nothing. Guys, it looks like we have a successful install. So now let's go see what it sounds like on the road before we call this job done. All right, guys, well, that's the end of this DIY on the S7. If you like what you're seeing and you found value in this video, please smash that like button for me. If you want to see more DIY style content, smash that subscribe button. Get notified of all the content we put out on this channel. We do a ton of DIYs. We build race cars. We go racing at the racetrack. We do a lot of drift racing. We're building an LSA powered Audi. Thanks for watching. Peace. I'm Audi.